It has come to my attention that there are quite a few of you watching these videos who are not engaged yet, and I feel like I have failed you so far. So allow me to first of all apologize and say I'm so sorry I haven't made any content for you yet, and to say welcome to this channel. Even if you are not engaged yet, but you are just fascinated by wedding planning or getting ready to plan one of your own, everyone is welcome here. Even the single Pringles who are like, I have no partner, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no one on the horizon, and yet I'm here. Anyways, all are welcome here. So, welcome to the crazy train. In this week's video, we're gonna talk about the 5 things that you should be doing if you're not engaged, but you have a feeling it might be coming soon, okay? And this is not the cheesy surface level, go get your nails done kind of thing. You're a big kid. You can figure that out on your own. But I'm just telling you from a wedding planner's perspective how you can get ahead. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. The first thing that you can do if you are not engaged is research. There is no harm in looking into how much a certain venue costs, or figuring out how much your favorite photographer costs, or really starting to get an idea of what general costs are in your area. It's also not a bad idea to get some contracts. Take a peek at them. Take a look at them and see what you like, what you don't like. Do you see any red flags? Research doesn't hurt. Research only helps. It gives you also the wonderful opportunity to do some cost comparison. Okay, I see this venue offers this with tables, chairs, and linens, but they're slightly more expensive than this venue. Do I want to try bringing in my own vendors for this and DIYing for lesser cost, or do I want to go more all-inclusive? Gives you time to figure that out. Another area that you can do some research is into rings, engagement rings. If you and your partner are deciding on getting an engagement ring for yourself or for one another, it is worth looking into, and there are so many affordable and beautiful options these days. If you are going with a traditional diamond, that's fine. I probably don't have a whole lot of suggestions for you because that market is saturated. But what you guys may or may not know is over a year ago, actually, I lost my engagement ring while gardening. Still can't find it, have no idea where it is. So I have been through a whole slew of replacement engagement rings. I don't know why I did finger quotes. That's what they actually are. And put together a whole blog post reviewing my favorites for you guys. So if you're still on the market for an engagement ring, or if you were looking for an inexpensive one to travel with, I would recommend checking out this link right here. It'll take you to all the faves, or all of the ones that I've tried and liked and or did not like. But when you're researching rings, it gives you time to go maybe try some on with or without your partner. I don't know, that's between you and the Lord. To figure out what cuts, what colors, what sizes you like, those sorts of things to really kind of hone in to make sure that you get a piece of jewelry that's going to be on your hand for the rest of your life, okay? That you actually like and you want to wear. This is also great information to share with a mom, a sister, a best friend, someone, in case your partner is about ready to ask and they don't want to come directly to you, or you don't have that kind of communication between the two of you, and they want to surprise you, but they also want to know what you want. Pass that information off to someone else to be like, here's the link to the exact ring that I want. And it also gives you the opportunity to look into something that is conflict-free and or man-made, that can be more expensive and or is ethically sourced. You want to use caution when researching though, and I mean this very honestly. 1, vendors are very wary of people who are not engaged that are researching. Just coming from a vendor, if someone's like, hey, I'm not engaged yet, just trying to get an idea of your packages, your pricing, I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm also not gonna hold my breath. There's a chance that you may not come back and hire me. I'm happy to share my packages, happy to share my pricing with you, but I also don't think that you're a slam dunk in the booking category, because my guess is you're just researching, and I'm okay with that. I'm here to support that, but I'm not gonna be chomping at the bit to get you to sign up to book me if you don't even have a date or a fiance. And secondary to that, it could potentially stress your partner out a lot. So you know your relationship, you know your partner way better than I do. You're gonna wanna make sure that if you're the super researchy type and they are not, that you are not overwhelming them with the things that you're looking into, because you could be putting pressure on a situation before they're ready to pop the question. So even if this is you, even if you're like, I will have 7 spreadsheets before I even get a ring on this finger, that's totally fine. Just make sure you're being gentle with your partner in the process, okay? Number 2, get your finances in order. I know, it's like the least saucy thing about talking about wedding planning, but guess what? Weddings cost money. They are not free. We stand for a good budget, okay? We do. I have no problem with a $5,000 budget, or a $10,000 budget, or a $15,000 budget, or a $50,000 budget. We don't budget shame here, but you're gonna wanna come up with at least some semblance of a plan on how you're gonna be putting money aside, or what account you might be drawing this from, including potentially talking to family members when the time comes. Don't do this early. Do not do this early, because that's, honestly, it's just tacky, okay? Don't do it early. when the time comes to talk with family members about that. Now, we did have a video here a couple weeks ago on having the hard money conversations with family members. I'm gonna go ahead and link that up here for you guys to check out. Because you've already done some research, you've mapped out a couple of costs for some vendors or venues in your area, you have a better idea of like how quickly weddings can get very expensive. So now's a good time to just start saving. Where you can, what you can, when you can. Let's say in the end you decide to elope and not have a full-blown wedding. Great, now you have a couple grand set aside to go for your next adventure. Maybe it's a new car together, maybe it's a deposit on your first place together, or maybe it's working towards a down payment on a home. I don't know, but it doesn't hurt to save in the meantime. Next, I would highly recommend looking into credit card options. This immediately is going to be very divisive for people who are watching this. That's okay. That's okay. Another video that I did a couple weeks ago was something called honeymoon hacking. And if you leverage these credit cards and their points accordingly, you could get a free honeymoon. Don't believe me? Watch this video. Credit cards aren't your thing? Don't worry about it. Totally fine. It's just an option, okay? Number 3, keep it a secret. Like, don't go around telling a lot of people. Like, I think he's gonna propose. I think he's gonna propose. Because what if he's not? What if he's not? Or what if they're in on it and now you're kind of ruining the surprise? Or what if they're not good at keeping secrets and then you pushed and pestered it out of them and now you've ruined your own proposal? You can tell a few people, okay? I could not keep it to myself. I was 100% incapable of keeping it to myself, okay? Incapable. I told my best friend at the time and my mom, and I was like, it's happening. It's happening. Joke's on me, it wasn't happening, but because I told him it was happening, he ended up making it happen. So it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing, but I certainly turned up the heat and the pressure on making this engagement happen as quickly as possible when maybe he wasn't necessarily ready. I mean, we're still happily married years later, so I feel like he doesn't feel like he made a mistake, but maybe he didn't need that extra pressure when it's already nerve-wracking as is. My guess is your fiance-to-be is busting their butt to make this as special as possible, so give them time and space to do that, all right? Number 4, ain't nothing wrong with a little Pinterest. Listen, this is where you shine. And I know half of you are laughing going, Jamie, you think this is brand new information? I've been planning this crud for 5 years already. I have not only boards, but sections. Well, for those of you who have not started, now's your time, now's your cue. Just go in there, play around, dump in some wedding ideas, figure out some things you like, some things you don't like. This may change over time. That's okay. In fact, clients that have had Pinterest boards for longer than a year, I'm like, go through either and pick and choose what you want from there or start a brand new board, okay? Because your style and your desires may have changed since then. It's okay to change your mind and play around until you really get the right fit for you. So lean into Pinterest, especially if the design and the aesthetic is not your thing, it's not your gift. This is a really good idea to toss some things in there that you do like, so when you do start planning and you bring on the more aesthetically minded vendors, such as a planner or a designer or a florist, you have some ideas to give them that they can help turn into reality. And if you really and truly do not know how to design a wedding, I recommend checking out the master plan, becoming a member. I have a whole section on how to design your wedding just based off of Pinterest alone. And it's literally set up in such a way to help those that don't really know what they're doing design their wedding beautifully, either by themselves or with the help of a family member or friend. And number 5, be present and available. And everyone says this. It's cheesy as heck. I'm aware of it, and I'm sorry that I'm adding more fodder to that flame. You are about to embark on one of the funnest and yet most stressful things that you will go through. It's planning a big party. You probably haven't done this before, and there's a lot of emotions, expectations, and finances that need to get figured out in order to make this successful. So feel free to enjoy the here and now. And be available if your partner is like, hey, let's go to dinner. Hey, let's go to the beach. Hey, let's go meet your family at a family reunion, or let's go have Christmas with my family. Be available. Just have a nice open schedule. Whether it's an intimate date night at home or something big and lavish, enjoy each of the memories as you make them. Well, I said last point for the last point, but this is the last point. Subscribe to this channel. Ain't no harm in hanging out here and learning how to plan a wedding and getting some advice and tips and tidbits and secrets and horror stories and confessions and all the exciting wedding planning stuff here on this channel, because, you know, it's research, right? It kind of falls in the first category. That counts, right? Oh, and you should follow us on Pinterest if you're feeling bogged down, confused, or like you've kind of stalled out or don't even know where to start with design. Give us a follow there. I'll link it right here. So that's all I have for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you liked the video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day brides. And almost brides. And until next week, bye guys!